Chapter 28. The Hillcrest Herald comes out with an editorial that goes viral, in Hillcrest at least. El Grande reads it to Franny and Bo. Mrs. Prim gets on the phone and reads it to her granddaughter. Walt and I take turns reading it. It's one of those times when a good voice breaks out and it helps just about everybody. Walt leans against the refrigerator to help his back and begins, What Really Happened in Hillcrest by Mark T. Inslow. For as long as I can remember, Hillcrest has been a baseball town, winning, losing, and then Coach Perkins came. And we stopped losing. We won. Big games. Big championships. After a while, you forget about losing. Being the best year after year means you'd better stay there. Nothing short of it is acceptable. I wonder if I should have been asking more questions. I'd come to expect nothing short of winning from this team of champions. The truth is, the team, and many in our town, became addicted to winning. It was good for the boys, for the town, for the school, for you fill in the blank. Now we know it was too good to be true. Hargy Cantwell's fastball is forever a memory, and baseball in Hillcrest, so big and bold, made us the worst kind of famous. Walt sighs deeply and hands the paper to me. I sit at the table and read the next part. What do we tell the kids? Here's what I'm telling mine. It's okay to lose. It's okay to not be number one year after year. Taking steroids in sports is cheating, and cheating, even if almost everybody else is doing it, is wrong. Winning by cheating isn't winning. It's losing, and losing by honorable efforts can be the biggest win of your life. I hope we don't just toss our Hornets hats in the growing pile by the stadium and shake our angry fists at being tricked. We don't need anger as much as we need courage. Courage is at its best when there isn't much of it around. So if you feel the stirrings of that, please step out and help us rebuild. Let's give the media something else to talk about. I stand here holding the paper. I swear, Walt, if there was a place to enlist, I'd go and do it. Jer, I think you already have. I drew a beard on the mother on the front of the cheesiest Mother's Day card I can find. I paste a picture of a laptop in the mother's hand. Inside it, it says, Mother dear, how can I thank you for every year and every tear? I put an X through that and write, Walt, you rock. J. I hand it to Walt. I always get my dad a Mother's Day card, and he always groans like now. This might be the worst yet, Jer. I smile. Thanks. Where do you find these things, he asks. Cards this bad don't fall from the sky. I had to look hard, Walt. I got it at the Peaceful Lutheran secondhand store. Walt dips an extreme Nutella cookie into his coffee. You make these? Benny's mom's recipe. This cookie requires full concentration, Jer. He eats it slowly, sips the coffee. You've outdone yourself. We're eating hamburgers on our back porch. Regular people tend to have cookies after their hamburgers, but our number one Mother's Day rule is dessert comes whenever you want it. Walt has another cookie. Listen, to change the subject for a minute, I got a dinner tomorrow night. Okay, I say. Cough. It's not a business thing. Okay, I tell him. It's a dinner with a person, he says. Eating with a person is good, Walt, as opposed to, say, eating with a buffalo. A female person, Jer. Oh. He coughs. A female person who is also a doctor. What kind of doctor, I ask. Another cough. A cardiologist. Would that be my cardiologist, I ask? He nods. My personal cardiologist? He nods. How did this happen, I ask. I called her when you were sick because I was worried and we got to talking. I wasn't planning to bring up dinner, but it kind of spilled out. He looks happy. You're cool with this? He asks. You haven't been on a date, Walt, since... This isn't a date. It's dinner, he says. I was about to say Margie in Toronto, who I didn't like at all, as opposed to Dr. Dugan, who I like a lot. It's not a date, Walt repeats. Whatever you say, Walt, I think to myself. Where are you going, I ask. There's a new fish place I heard about. He smiles. Cardiologists like fish. It's good for the heart. I'm smiling too. What? He says. Nothing. I'm finding this irritating, Jer. I'm smiling big as we head to the front lawn to play catch. Something called a preliminary hearing is taking place tomorrow to look at the evidence piling up against Coach Perkins. That's the next step in the process. After that, Walt told me the case goes to a grand jury. All of this has to happen before there can be an official trial. Coach Perkins is saying through his lawyers that he's not guilty. The truth will come out. Lying and steroids seem to go together like peanut butter and jelly. Most of the athletes I've heard about who were accused of using PEDs lie at first, performance-enhancing drugs. They're very good at this. Then later they admit they lied and apologize. I don't ever want to be a good liar. It would make it too easy to keep doing it. I look out my bedroom window. So many stars are out tonight. My favorite star fact is stars die but can keep on glowing. I like stubbornness in a star. A couple of streetlights are on. 2 more hours and Mother's Day is over. I've tried to picture what my mother was like. Was she tall or short or skinny or always on a diet? Did she have a big laugh or a quiet one? Did she like baseball? I just want to know one thing about her. I've asked Walt, you don't remember some desperate-looking mother around the office? She could have come in that night and cleaned the building. She was probably watching you. Believe me, Jer, I tried to remember any little thing, but she was probably shy, Walt. She might not have spoken very good English. Walt would hold up both hands and shake his head. Uncle Jack always told me, when you don't know something, focus on all the stuff you do know. I get a piece of paper and write, Hey, Mom, Baby and I are fine, although he needs a plastic bag to stay together. So far, I don't. Happy MD, Mother's Day, wherever you are. You were right about Walt. J.